I don't really have like a slick thing to say. I think I might sneeze.
You don't need something slick. Those shoes are so slick.
They're kind of weird looking.
They're sliding into 2025. I like them.
I do too, once I put them on. I don't know how they keep leveling up the factor, but like they sure have been. The 7 was a whoa, that's weird. The 8, even more so. The 9, again, like I'm just like, every time Adidas comes out with a new product, I'm just kind of like, what's it gonna look like now? It's weird. Hey, what's going on, guys? My name's Chris. Welcome back to the official WearTesters.com YouTube channel. Today we got a detailed look and breakdown on the Adidas Harden Volume 9. Now, before we get started, we do have a quick word from today's sponsor, and that's the good folks over at PASCAL. PASCAL offers affordable luxury watches featuring lab-grown diamonds, shiny, durable, and timeless stainless steel that is rust and tarnish resistant. It's also water resistant for up to 100 meters. You can swim, shower, or sweat. This thing will handle it all. The timepiece is also covered with sapphire glass, which is scratch-proof and crystal clear for everyday clarity. These things look great without breaking the bank. You can get a nice clean watch or piece of jewelry for a friend or family member right now with the link below in our description box. And there should also be a code down there to save you 15% off on your order. If you're interested in checking out anything from PASCAL, make sure that you do click the direct link down below in our description box. Not only does it help out our sponsor, but it also helps out our channel as well. Now, first things first, this particular colorway is an overseas exclusive. It's been dubbed Year of the Snake. I happen to grab my pair over at ID for Shoes. They're a seller over on eBay. They've been in business for a very long time. They're a trustworthy seller. I've been using them for years. So if you wanted to grab this particular colorway and you weren't sure where to get it, you can always do so through them. But this is the box. It's very simple. It's very clean. It's actually a pull-out drawer box, so that's cool. One weird thing though is that they flip the label, so like everything's like this. That's kind of interesting. I don't know if that's how they want things stored, but cool.
It's the new PlayStation.
That's kind of cool. But either way, these are the shoes, and I kind of feel the same about these as I do about the 8s, which is that the 7 was really cool. It was really awesome. It was one of the best shoes of that year. The 8 felt like a slightly refined version of the 7, and by slightly, I really emphasize the slightly. Like there was issues with it, like the weird like EVA rings and stuff. It pinched some people and things like that. It was a great shoe though, whereas these feel like an even more refined version of those. So I don't know how everybody feels about it, but I would like slight refinements like this. That way you still kind of like get what you're expecting throughout a signature series or a signature line. And it's not super jarring when they jump from one advancement to the next. Like when we're talking about like something like Jordan Brand, where they did use the eclipse plate and that unlock zoom for quite a while, and it was awesome. And then out of nowhere it got ditched and they went with other stuff. You know what I mean? And like everybody's kind of like, whoa there, what happened? And are the other things awesome? Yes, but were they better than the previous? Probably not. So that's the one thing where it's like, yeah, they don't feel refined. They just feel like, let's try something new and hope that we stick the landing. Whereas this is a little bit of a safer bet, which when we're talking about performance, I do think that that's a good thing. I think that you can have your concept models that try new things, but when you're going with the signature series, you definitely want to keep things functional. You know what I mean? Like there's a name attached to this, his integrity is attached to it, his fan base is gonna want it just because it's his, and so you want to make sure that it performs well. So that's what this feels like. The traction does look damn near identical to the last model, and I don't think that that's a bad thing. This right here just works really well, so I'm excited to play in these. I love the two little like zones that you can see with the black dots. Those sections are radial traction patterns, and they're right there in the areas that you need it, that lateral point and the toe off. So when you're talking about basketball movements and footwork, those are two key areas that a lot of guards actually use within their feet, and you need extra coverage right there. So they got you covered. I will say that the grooves are very thin. They're also very pliable. So is this going to be a great outdoor shoe? I probably wouldn't grab these as a specific outdoor shoe unless it was absolutely necessary. Now the cushion is interesting, not because it's different, because it feels very much the same. It also looks the same, but there was this tech sheet right here that was put online, and it says, much like the original AE1, that there's light boost and light strike mixed within this midsole here. Now I'm not sure if that's accurate, because that turned out to not be accurate for the AE1. There was no light strike in that shoe at all. There was in the lows, but we're talking about the mids here. However, these do feel like that they use boost. You can actually see it when you look on the outsole right here, the two little holes that are in those black traction pods. You can see the boost boost right there. When you lift up the insole, there's a little cutout in the strobel. You can see the boost in the heel. And again, when you're looking at the shoe from the bottom, obviously you can see that X torsional plate in there, but you can also see that that boost runs full length. Much like the AE1 though, the midsole is also wrapped, so you can't see like if there's anything additional in there. It doesn't feel like there would be, but it is definitely structured. I don't know if that's because there's something else in there or if it's actually light strike, but either way, the cushioning feels super comfortable. Like that's one of the things where like I was actually really surprised with these because the 8s felt a little clunky, especially at first, especially in the heel. The heel definitely felt clunky. So yeah, the comfort right here, it just feels great, especially right out the box. I was definitely surprised by that. I'm very excited to play in these just because I have really liked the 7 and the 8s. So I'm hoping that these, again, just are really a refined version of each of those two models. It feels lighter, you feel lower. The only thing that I can maybe complain about is the way that the upper flexes when you're walking in them. But hopefully this material breaks in quickly because the last model did the same thing with those EVA halo things. I do think that the overall construction is really interesting though. You got kind of like a Foamposite-esque vibe where the midsole is double lasted, so you don't actually see the midsole. They did the same thing with the AE1 where it was just a big old sidewall and everything. Obviously slightly different construction because those were kind of like a TPU or a rubberized upper, whereas this one is not. But yeah, this is the kind of vibe that I get when I look at this. I'm like, oh, this is very Foamposite, you know what I mean? Like it looks kind of cool. So I really like this. It looks sleek. The overall design is weird, but like you get used to it. Now, speaking of that upper, it's all synthetic, so I'm not really impressed by that. Like it's not my favorite material. Will it work on court? I'm pretty sure it will. There's definitely different top coat treatments to the synthetic. So this particular one, to keep up with the theme, looks like a snake. It's kind of neat, you know what I mean? Like it's got a weird sheen to it. Hard to see maybe on camera, but in person.
It's beautiful.
I do really like the integration of the 3 stripes, by the way. I think that that's dope, and I did want to not forget that there is one little piece of premium material, and it's right here at the bottom of the base is a little piece of suede. And is that enough to wow me? No, but it's nice, I guess, that it was a thought. For all you guys that love it, the fake carbon fiber is back on the heel. This has been a thing that Adidas has done with a couple of different models now, including the Dawn Issue 6, the AE1, and now this guy. And I know that you guys in the comment section really like to live it up, talking shit about this, so feel free. The internal system is very much the same as the last 2 models, so if you liked it, then here we go. If you didn't like it, then, well, it's much of the same. It feels literally like the same exact thing. I will say that these little pull tabs, I don't know if this is on purpose or not, but the little red stitching lines that are in there really remind me of the original Yeezy that Adidas put out, that first one. I think it was called the 350, and it had the little pull tab with the red dots on there. So that's what this kind of reminds me of. I don't know if that's the vibe that they're going for, but that's the first thing I think of when I saw it. Support feels really good though because of a few different factors. One, the heel counter feels very substantial. 2, there's that giant X torsion plate right there. Not only is it a torsion plate, but it also wraps up into the forefoot area like a little fork, and that'll be a spring plate, which is supposed to give you a little bit of extra pep in your step. And on top of that, the double lasted midsole, that's what the purpose of something like that is. It's to really connect your foot to the platform in a way that feels more natural than a standard like upper on top of a midsole. So that is supposed to like make you feel closer to everything and more one-to-one, which all kind of like plays into support. If that fit is sloppy, like you guys already know, just go south real fast. And before I forget, this is the insole. Yes, it's a piece of shit. You can replace it. It's not glued in. I will say that I don't think that you need a substantial insole in there unless maybe you have a high arch and you needed additional arch support in there. But as far as torsion rigidity, I think that the shoe's got it covered for you. Obviously, you can put in, again, anything that you want, whether you wear an orthotic or maybe you wanted to use a move baseline insole, you can do so. As far as fit is concerned, they do fit true to size. Whatever you wore in the Harden Volume 7 as well as the Harden Volume 8, that is exactly what I would order with this guy. I wear a 9 in all 3 of these models, and so that's what I'm going with. I think that they fit perfect. And with all that being said, what is today's question of the day?
What are your thoughts on the Superman trailer?
It almost made me cry. Almost. Not quite there, but it almost made me cry. I really loved the music, obviously. It was like a throwback. Like you were saying, there was some Top Gun vibes.
It was totally Top Gun.
It was totally the original song. It was just with an electric guitar. So like, okay, and Top Gun invented the electric guitar, whatever. You know what I mean? Like, if that's what it reminds you of, then that's what it reminds you of. But it was the OG song, so it hit different. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was dope. It was the crypto thing that got me. You know what I mean? Like, when that fool finally like showed up, I was like, damn, he looks good, man. Like, he looks like the comics, bro. Like, this looks like it's gonna be a fucking good time. So yeah, I'm super excited for the movie, and I just hope that it's great. I did like the last one though, by the way, so for those of you guys like being like, oh, but trust me, I liked the Zack Snyder Superman Man of Steel. I thought that was a great movie too. I think that it's severely underrated and overhated. But that's no longer the Superman that we have. We have a new one. So I'm just really hoping that this one's good. You know what I'm saying? Like, I hope that this one sticks around a while. I'm hoping that the stories are great. I do trust James Gunn. I have no reason not to. I've liked all of his Guardian movies, and I didn't even give two shits about the Guardians when the first one came out. You know what I mean? Like, I never really liked the books. But what about you guys? What did you think about the new Superman trailer? Are you excited? Are you not? I was bummed that they instantly delayed it, so that sucks. But sound off below and let us know what you think about these in the comment section. Did you already grab a pair, or are you waiting for the US drop? I would love to know your guys' thoughts. Stay tuned for a performance review in the coming weeks, and we will catch you guys in the next one. So until then, y'all have a good one.